Hi, I'm Christina.
I'm Matt.
And we're with the Hellflowers.
You know there's nothing to it, take a chance. Together we can do it, take my hand, let's get to it. I know that we can move.
I would say, we started in 2015, and my previous band to this band was like classic country, and I knew I wanted to do something different. Wasn't sure exactly what I was going to do, but I knew it was going to be, I guess, some type of rock and roll probably, because I started working with a guitar player, and then we brought in a drummer and a bassist. The reason I love 60s honky tonk was because it's a genre and it's a scene and it's limiting, especially with songwriting. When you're in a genre and you have to write songs, it limits your creativity. You can only do so many things. Like, your song has to be honky tonk, it has to have a certain kind of beat to it, it has to have a certain kind of theme, because, they have certain themes. It's like, so I just felt like I was in a box, and I felt like I needed to be let out, and just like, I feel like now in this band, I can pretty much bring any song to the table and we can just create whatever we want without having a lot of limitations. I've been writing songs for a long time, so we took some of my older songs and started reworking them. We just started playing them as a band and like seeing what happened, And so everybody's different influences started coming out, and honestly, we didn't know what we were going to do. We knew we didn't want to be a specific genre, we didn't want to be part of a scene. We didn't want to be like, we're this. So when it started coming out, we heard different things from different people. Like, one person would say one thing, one person would say another thing. What we reminded them of.
Comparisons to, like, you guys sound like the Pretenders and X, and it was kind of all over the map. It was different.
The Ramones mixed with the Go-Go's, which I thought was cute.
That's cool. I'll take that. And anything cool and recognizable.
But it seemed like most of the comparisons were like 80s, 90s. I love X. Yeah. I love the Pretenders. I think I got a Debbie Harry one time. I like that too. Blondie, we love that. Love the Go-Go's. Love the Ramones. Yeah, I don't know if I've gotten any comparisons that one time I got like the biggest compliment as far as I'm concerned, and somebody told me that we sounded like the Descendants, which is like one of my all-time favorites.
I don't really hear it, but that's cool.
I'm not trying to take that. I'm just gonna take it though. I'm not gonna complain. I'm just saying I like it.
They saw the sticker on your face.
They're trying to get on my good side. And it gives us the ability to play with like all kinds of different people, which is, I love it. It's fun, being able to really, just experience that, playing with so many different types of people and bands, and I feel like that makes it all the more fun.
Christina does a lot of the writing, like 95% of the writing.
I definitely write all the lyrics and then most of the music, but I definitely want to expand that. And Matt and Kat write, so that I just have to, we have to bring more of their songs in. So basically, my process is definitely a personal experience, and most of my songs are stories or something I've been through, or somebody I know that's something they've been through, and it's inspired me to write a song. That's pretty much all of them, I would say, and I grew up writing poetry as a child. My whole life I've been writing poetry, and then it's just now turned into, I don't really write poetry anymore, because like almost every single poem I write is turned into a song. Like,
natural progression.
One of our songs, it's called Gone Too Soon. It was a poem I wrote about my niece, and I just expanded it a little bit and wrote a melody to it to create a song. But yeah, so, when you're going through hard things, sometimes it helps to just create something that kind of expresses your feelings, and then sometimes you get really emotional, obviously, when you're performing something like that, but I think it's good. It's a good process to kind of like, you're creating this thing, and then your emotions maybe aren't so, it's getting them out a little bit in a way, like out there. and then expressing your feelings to the world in a way, you know, sharing it. A lot of people share similar experiences and they can relate to it, and then, you know, it brings people in, I think.
Christina just lost her mom back in February, and we had to perform that song that she was talking about that she wrote called "Gone Too Soon," and we were doing an acoustic show at the Perky Nerd in Burbank. Some friends of ours own a comic book store over there, so they asked us to come over there and do a little acoustic thing, and none of us have ever done it, so we jumped in, and as we're performing the song, you know, she started to cry. You know, it was personal, it was a heavy time, and that song is so deep to her. You know, it's really, really emotional. It's actually like a really upbeat kind of a pop tune, but sometimes, man, you know, sometimes
the lyrics mean a lot, though. So even though it's very upbeat, I feel like, you know, it's kind of like a Morrissey song, you know, like I love his stuff because a lot of the subject matter is very deep and like dark sometimes, but it's like super happy, like the music, you know, the melodies most of the time were just like, they make me want to get up and dance and they make me so happy. But the subject matter a lot of the time is like super deep, and I think like that song's kind of like that. I mean, because it's about somebody I loved like a sister, and the lyrics talk about that, and she has my mom's name, and it was like 3 years after my mom passed away, you know, 3 years after her. She passed away at 38, she was like a sister to me, and then 3 years later my mom passed away, and then I'm trying to sing that song, and it's like, oh my god, like I can't. Yeah. And I'm just an emotional person anyway, and yes, when you're sharing something that's that, like, it's in my heart, so it's like when you're in front of that many, even if, you know, whatever, it wasn't like 1 million people obviously, but, or even 1,000, or even maybe 100, but you know what I mean, it's like you're sharing that with them, and you're sharing your feelings and emotions with like people. It's a lot, even if it's just 10 out there, you know, still, yeah. These are your deepest, like, heartfelt things that you're writing about people you love or an experience you've had, and you share. And the first time I ever shared a song that I wrote myself, I was like, so it's a lot to put out there. It's just like embarrassing. It's like, oh my god, I'm putting my heart on the table, you know. So it's like a lot.
Just the fear of people telling you you just suck.
But yeah, the happiness and the emotion you experience on stage is like probably one of the best feelings in the world, and it's like, that's like the drug that music is, you know. Besides just like the audience, the way we experience it, like as an audience member, that's how I experience music. It's like a drug for me, and it's the reason I don't need drugs, and I've never needed drugs. I experimented really young, but I mean, I feel like music is that thing for me. Like going to see live music and performing live music, it just takes, that's the thing that helps me get through life. That's the thing.
I'm a control freak, I guess. So, like, I think that's the reality of it.
Well, I guess it's a little piece of skin tab or something. Sorry. Sorry to interrupt.
So yeah, no, it's I love doing it. Like, I love doing music video. I think it's fun, and it's something you can just go out, shoot, cut, and then it's out there, and you put it out there to the world, and do it fast and dirty and cheap, and, you know, and find a way to do it, and people seem to dig it, you know. Like, I feel like I have a knack for it now, like, and we're probably shooting like a music video a month right now for not only ourselves but for other people. It's been great, but I love you know, doing it for. I mean, it makes it difficult because I have to be in the video half the time, or pretty much all the time. So it's good to have friends that know how to run cameras. You know, it's good to have friends that can push a 5D around and make it look good. And but I think it's necessary these days to, you know, to get your stuff out there. I mean, we're such a visual generation now. Everybody goes to YouTube you know, to find new stuff, and that's how people find new music, which is wild. You know, we don't have MTV anymore. We don't have, you know, we don't have VH1 anymore, at least not in this country. You know, so people go to YouTube or go to Vimeo and find what's out there. And I think it's important for every band to get out there and hire me and and yeah, just get your stuff out there. And, you know, not only make yourself heard, but make yourself seen as well. It's totally important. LA's tough, and it's kind of always been tough. You know, it's to get people to come out is hard these days. You know, people don't want to leave the house. It's too expensive. It's tough to go out a lot of times, and if you get a good crowd, it can be surprising. You know, because in my experience, you know, people are distracted these days. Why go out if all you're gonna do is stare at your phone the entire time? You know, so a lot of people stay in, and I don't know. It tends to be a distracted crowd. I've noticed that getting away from LA, audiences are a lot different, a lot more receptive. But not to say that we haven't had great shows here.
Yeah, we really, like a place we like playing is San Diego. Like that place, for some reason, people come out and they really like the music. They're really into the music. They really like express that, you know. So like, there's this OCML. They're kind of based out of Orange County, and they do like a lot of live shows, and they seem to do a good job promoting or whatever.
Yeah.
And people come out, you know, Orange County, San Diego.
They've got an anti-pay-to-play kind of thing going on, where they just make sure the bands get paid, make sure the bands get fed and taken care of, and kind of the way it should be, you know.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Sunset Strip in LA, they expect you to sell tickets, so we pretty much avoid that for the most part.
Though we are doing.
Sometimes there's dream shows, and you gotta make it happen once in a while.
We did pick up a show at the Whiskey Go for June. That we're opening for missing persons. We couldn't turn that down because we just love, you know. That was an opportunity. So
it'll be fun.
Once a year, I'll hustle my friends to buy tickets.
How's it going? We're the Hellflowers.
And you're watching our interview on Hype Nation.